But where is your leadership? Where is the leadership of the Gen Zs? Who are your leaders?
I think that is where we should look at it and say, truly, we are leaderless. And so we can sit here and say that we are the leaders of Gen Z. It's a voice. And the voice of, let's say now, the voice of God, it can use any personalities, but the voice remains constant. And the message of the Gen Z is very clear. We want accountability, we want integrity. And so we don't need leaders to come and talk. What are we talking about? We are asking for accountability, integrity, proper policy implementation. And so the movement has no leader. Also, something you should note is now the movement is ageless. You can now join quote unquote Gen Z.
Mzae.
Yes. Because what we are trying, we are being connected by IT. Gen Z is connected by IT, it is connected by education, it is connected by ideas, it is connected by purpose. And so it is a movement for everyone. It is ageless, it is leaderless, and that is why it is very difficult for the system and the government to shut it down, because who are you shutting down?
Mbuka Ken says, Wajiro is wrong. Oh, Gen Z said they were leaderless. How then did Raila betray them? Raila leads a political party and he acted according to the interests of his party.
Well, we asked Raila to stay out of this from the very beginning of the protest, and he did not. Tuliambia Agwambo umefight, sasa ni aje, relax, ka home. Agwambo hakusikia. That's why I say he should have stayed out of it. Not that I had any expectations of Raila saving us.
Yeah.
We do not subscribe to those personality cults kind of leadership. The new wave of leadership in Kenya, hatusemi sasa wewe Jeff, wewe ndio alpha and omega. Bila wewe hatufiki kanan. Tunaenda whether uko, whether uyuko. Sababu it's very clear in our minds where we want to go. Yes.
Lakini watu wake si waliingia Oparanya, Mbadi, you know.
Sasa hiyo ndio betrayal nasema, kwa sababu si hatukuwa tuna fight ndio watu wapate hizo positions. Tulikuwa tuna fight tupate real change kwa hii inchi, kwa sababu honestly tumechoka. You know, by the way, why we are fighting is because we are so tired. For millions of Kenyans to come to the streets. For us to walk back home that day, there were no matatus. Tukitembea Thika Road hivi tukienda, I was just looking at Kenyans and my heart is just filled with, I just wish this change could come. We are yearning for change.
Na kama nyinyi mungepewa hizo positions, mungekimya sasa?
Positions gani?
Hizo mulikuwa muki...
Our patriotism is not for sale. We are serious about change in this country, by the way, Jeff. People have died. What do we tell Rex? Mama Rex akisikia sahi tunaongea watoto wa Kenya hawana discipline. Mtoto wake aliuliwa akipigania Kenya bora. You know, it's real. It's not a joke thing. It's real. It's life. We are fighting for a better Kenya in real. It's not jokes.
It's not jokes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've said that we are in a country that we look like we are in a campaign period.
Yeah.
And I think if there's something, I listened to Trump's speech. Let me bring it here as I try to answer that question. Is above and beyond everything he said, is one thing was clear. He was putting the Americans' interest first. Whether we feel some of them are not good, because personally the WHO and the Paris Agreement Treaty, I'm not really gelling well with them. He is putting the interest of the American people first. How I desire that our leaders, all of them, from our president to everyone else, the one who is on the list of whatever they count as, that they will put the Kenyan interest first. And I would say, just like what Wanjira was saying, what we need is people of integrity to take up office. And so if we are looking at track record, let us look at it seriously. We look at the morality without emotions. And just as we had said before we went for the break, if something is right, it is right. If something is wrong, it is wrong. And so for me, I feel the people who are around the president are actually not advising him, or he's not advisable. Two things. Either they're advising him wrongly, or he's not advisable. And how I wish the humility and how he came, because the church sanctified him and said he is chosen. The way he came at first, he comes back to the first love. You know how a narcissistic boyfriend at first is the best thing in the world, that he can get you anything you want.
Can't do anything wrong.
And it's all talk. How I wish we can go back to that honeymoon phase and he would actually do what he says. So for me, I feel the people who are around the president are actually not advising him, or he's not advisable. Two things. Either they're advising him wrongly, or he's not advisable. And how I wish the humility and how he came, because the church sanctified him and said he is chosen. The way he came at first, he comes back to the first love. You know how a narcissistic boyfriend at first is the best thing in the world, that he can get you anything you want.
Can't do anything wrong.
And it's all talk. How I wish we can go back to that honeymoon phase and he would actually do what he said. And so for me, I'll say for the next 2 years, Mr. President, please work for the people of Kenya. If something is working, you don't have to explain to us it is working. If these cameras in studios are working, Jeff, you don't have to continue to tell us these cameras are working. Don't you have any other accomplishment than this is working? We need to see and to feel that the promises they made unwarranted. No one told them to promise us anything. The promises that you made unwarranted, let them come to pass, because now you have power and you have 2 years to go.
Kiarie, there's critics